Welcome back to the Konner and Devy podcast. This is Connor Stoker, and I am joined by
Heavy Devy.
That is right, Devin Heavy Devy Hartman. I'm a little upset, guys, if I'm going to be honest. This is episode 4, I don't know if we already said that or if I just introduced the podcast, but this is episode 4. We had 3 episodes recorded in one day. It is now January 15th, 2019, and it is 12:05 a.m. We last recorded on January 9th, I believe, and we have taken some time trying to upload it. Devy did most of the editing. On the first episode, he got it pretty much perfect, and I was really happy with it, and we were sitting here just laughing, listening to it. It was a good time.
It was, yeah.
And then he was having problems uploading it. It said 15 minutes was the cap for us.
And 15?
Yeah, that's what it was. And so I looked it up.
That's kind of bullshit.
It really is. That's more editing for yourself. You know what? That should be like a challenge for you, is not to cuss, because then you'll have to edit more. But you listen to the whole thing anyways, so it doesn't matter, I guess. But anyways, yeah. I looked into it a little bit before we got back together with each other, and I looked into it, and it was a simple fix. I was like, I just got to verify our account. And since it was on Devy's laptop, we were like, should probably wait until I'm with Devy again. Then we could just verify it, upload the first episode, maybe edit the second or third episode, and record something. That was the idea. That was the plan.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like, it seemed really simple.
But YouTube f***ed up big time, man.
I'm not happy.
They f***ed up pretty bad.
So, I'm like, okay, we'll just upload the episode, and I'll see what pops up this time. Now that we have, we wait a little bit, maybe something had happened. Nope. So, I'm like, no biggie. I learned how to verify an account, so I went ahead and verified it. I'm like, okay, let's upload it. And it took a little bit. We multitasked, did some other things while we were waiting for it to upload. And let me tell you, same message popped up saying you need to be verified to upload more than 15 minutes of content. And all at the same time, we'd click on the verify account button, and it'd be like, you're already verified. So, I don't know. We're going to wait a little bit and upload these videos. We're sorry for the wait, guys, because I posted on my Snapchat story saying I'm going to post another thing saying there's been a slight delay. Sorry for your wait, which is funny because that was part of the topics for our first episode, was talking about restaurants. And,
oh, yeah, that's right.
Nowadays, all they say is, bless you. All they say is,
thank you.
Sorry for the miscommunication. Sorry for this happening wrong. All this stuff. I don't know. I've been talking for 3.5 minutes straight now.
Yeah, bro.
You got anything you want to talk about, D-Ball?
Well, yeah, YouTube they need to make it easier to upload long videos. Because it was like an hour-ish. A little bit over an hour long. And I think that's why it didn't let us do it, so we got to figure that out still.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't want to cut the episodes in half. At least we don't want to cut the ones that we've already made in half. Because then we'll have to figure out what point we want to, bless you. We have to figure out what point we want to cut in half. So, then just cut it in half at the 30-minute mark. But we might be in the middle of a conversation at that point. And you don't want to just cut it off right then. And I don't know. It's just
yeah, man, I feel you. But, no, bro, it'll work out because once we upload that, we're making some money, bro, and that's what we're about on this podcast.
All about the money.
It's all about the money. You're absolutely right, man. I couldn't agree with you more.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe it. I was so excited. All these people swiped up on my Snapchat and were like, I can't wait to listen. I'm going to tune in. I hope it's good. All this stuff. And then it's just like, oh, sorry. YouTube is just we can't do anything.
Yeah, I know, it sucks, man.
We're gonna take a quick break so I can update the Snapchat people. I'm gonna make something on my story saying that there's gonna be a delay. I'm pretty upset, guys. Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Just had to update our soon-to-be fans about our unfortunate news. Speaking of unfortunate news, government shutdown. My question to you: have you seen any birds since the government shut down?
No, I have not.
You wanna know why, Devy?
Why?
Because birds are just spies. Sorry, Devy. Devy dropped the mouthpiece of his new vape. We'll talk about that in a little bit. His new vape, why he got a new vape, and what's he using now. Anyways, excuse me, I'm still a little sick, and Devy kind of is too. He sneezed a couple times already. I'm guessing he's a little under the weather. But anyways, we government shutdown. No birds. That's all I have to say. Like, honestly, they're just spies for the government.
They're spies.
Yep. People get pet birds because they're suggested through people who don't know it, but they're being brainwashed to suggest.
Exactly. Think about why I see birds everywhere. It's because they're always watching you.
Like, people
Except
are like,
for since the government shut down, no birds are watching me anymore.
People are like, man, my telephone. People are listening to the telephone, to the speakers, to all this. You know what? There are more phones. You know what? There are more of than there are phones. Birds. There are more birds in the world than there are phones.
Yeah, for sure.
But other than that, you want to talk about your new vape?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so on the last episodes, I had my Soren Air.
We were talking about it. We want to get sponsored.
Yeah, we want to get sponsored by Soren. But anyway.
Only problem is you know what would have made me want to get sponsored by them? If they were waterproof. That's what would make me want to get sponsored.
I fucking wish. No, but what was I doing, man? Oh, I was holding it in my hand, and I went to pick up a cup of water, and I dropped the air into the water and just plummeted to the bottom, and then and I took it out, and it wouldn't work. It was always hitting on itself, so it just like never stopped.
I do that too.
As if you're hitting it.
I do that too sometimes. You know, like I'll walk past the mirror and I'll start hitting on myself. Like, damn, V, you look cute. Okay, anyways, yeah, keep going.
But yeah, it never stopped. Just kept hitting. So like I had it in my pocket, and something was burning up in there. It was like so fucking hot. But then
he thought it was.
I thought it was like my phone overheating. So I pulled it out and like checked out what it was, and it was my air, man. It was like so hot. I was like, this thing's a fucking ticking time bomb.
I thought it was Samsung on. I thought it was gonna Samsung Note on him.
Yes, man. You hear about people that like have their face and fingers blown up because their vape explodes. And
Do you remember hearing about that in Health when the guy was at the gas station, all of a sudden his pants just went up in flames?
Yeah, that's not even true, bro.
I don't.
It probably has happened, but
it has to be very weird circumstances. You're not gonna.
I think that only happens with people when they make those homemade vapes.
Or if you make homemade ones,
the boxes, the government has to approve them.
Yeah,
or some shit, like the FDA, Food and Drug, whatever.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's just like anything you put into your body. You know, if you make it yourself, you might come across some problems. You make your own moonshine, you might go blind. You make your own vape, you might catch your pants on fire. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, I don't know. I've been chilling lately. Like, it's been whenever it snows, because like we're in the Midwest. We talked about that. We're about 3 hours out from Chicago. 3 to 8 hours from Chicago. Whenever it snows, you don't want to do much. It's cold. It's hard to get around. You can't do much outside.
You can go sledding.
You can go sledding. If you haven't go sledding, if you're a city slicker, you can't go sledding. Or if you live somewhere where it doesn't snow. I feel bad for you. You're missing out. It's pretty fun. It's quite the experience.
It's a lot of fun, man, and you're never too old to go sledding.
We went sledding a year ago.
We went sledding like a year ago, man.
And it was... we thought we saw Rhett die.
We went with Rhett, J-Sick, and Jerry, right?
I think that's all that was there. Was there?
No, wasn't there.
Okay, we're going to bleep out the names of people who aren't there. Shout out to anyways. Yeah, it's like we went to we have a bunch of fun fact about our town. We have a bunch of churches. We have a bunch of cemetery land. And we went sledding at the cemetery. Then no, we weren't like breaking gravestones or anything.
No, there's like a huge hill without any.
Yeah, and it's too steep for them to put something there.
It's a steep hill.
Yeah,
it's and remember at the bottom it dropped off like probably like 5 feet onto the road, and we went down on that part.
So we were just going down the hill, and it was going towards people's yards, and I was like, "Hey, what are the odds we move up the hill a little bit and go off that little drop-off area?" And Rhett's like, I'll go. And he does it. And there's some dead weeds in the way. And so from the angle that we are, as soon as you get through the weeds, you can't see probably 10 or 15 feet away from the drop-off. So we see Rhett, oh my God. He's going down the hill. We're like, oh yeah. All of a sudden, you hear whoosh. He flies in the air about 2-3 feet. All of a sudden, you hear a hard hit on the asphalt.
I broke 2 sleds that day, and one of them was because I landed on the road after that like 5 feet drop off, and
it was more than 5 feet, honestly.
You think so? Well,
it was above my head. I know, but it was above my. If you're going at the angle that we're going at,
that's over like 6 feet tall.
It was over 6 feet tall, bro. Anyways, Rhett went through the weeds, and the weeds like it looked like in a movie where someone runs off into a cornfield. You see them for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then they're gone. You have no visual on them. He went through these tall weeds. And we had no clue where he was. We're like, Rhett, are you okay? Rhett, are you okay? All of a sudden you hear,
Oh my God, I remember that, man. I thought I was dead when I went down there because you hit it hard. Bro. It was kind of scary, but I thought it was really fucking fun.
It was fun.
We could have died though.
You know how many stories my dad starts
if you
off
land
with?
The wrong
we could have died.
You could land on your head and snap your neck or something. Who knows?
I'm drinking a glass of water right now, Devin. You know that? You can see that, but they can't. They probably hear the ice. I could choke on a piece of ice and die right now.
It'd probably melt in your warm body.
It could. I could also not, and I could just die right now from drinking a glass of water. You can die whenever. I was talking about how we get serious sometimes on this podcast. How we were talking about some advice to give to younger folks, such as, don't get involved in drama if you can. Stay out of it. All those stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, and do as I say, not as I do. I get into drama sometimes, even to this day. It happens. But, death. Death is something that it's hard to not do. It's pretty easy.
Dies.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody dies. If we aren't laughing, we're crying. You know that? That's a saying.
I didn't know that.
It's a saying about dark humor. Like, if something fucked up's going on, you can just be like, oh, well, if we aren't laughing about it, we're crying. Like, because it's a sad thing that's happening. So you might as well make a joke about it, because otherwise you're just going to be crying about it, and that's a lot less fun to laugh at.
Never heard it, but I guess that
you don't hear a lot of sayings I say. What did I say earlier tonight?
Watch pot never boils.
No. I told Devin that way back in the days of the call service company. We when he was training me. That's not how we knew each other, by the way. I told someone else this story who doesn't know us or our school really well. I was like, oh yeah, that's my man's Devy. He and I worked together, and like that's how I started. Like, oh, is that how you guys met? No, we've known each other for a while. But anyways, Yeah, he was training me, and it was like so little time was left before I'd go back into the room and they'd teach me more stuff. And I was like, well, Devy, a watched pot never boils. And he's like, what the do you mean, Connor? And he's he's giving me this look. I just have to explain to him. If you're doing something else while you have something on a timer, so say if you're boiling some water, if you go ahead and do something else while you're waiting for that water to boil, time flies. Like you're doing something else, you're not paying attention, time goes by faster. But if you're watching that pot boil, it's gonna seem like it takes forever. So the whole point is while we were at work, while he was training me, I'm like, don't look at the clock. And we covered up. Do you remember that? We covered up. Yeah. We got a little piece of paper and we covered up the clock at the bottom right of the computer because we didn't want to see what time it was. Because then we would just keep looking there and getting disappointed every single time.
Man, that job drags, man.
Yeah, and I'm looking for jobs
Today
right
was
now.
So long, man.
I'm looking for jobs right now. Debbie's like, work with me again, bro. It's fun.
Go to collections, man.
But what are some other sayings? I said something tonight and you looked at me.
I don't know, man.
I can't remember either.
Was it something like Asian or Chinese or something?
It wasn't a Chinese proverb. I'm trying to think now. We were outside and I said something. It was about we were walking towards the trash can. But I have no clue what we were talking about. We were talking about how your brother got a girl pregnant that we don't like. She's not attractive. He didn't actually, by the way.
I don't know what we were talking about.
If anybody is listening and knows Devin's brother Dylan, he didn't get anybody pregnant as far as we know. And not especially nobody who's unattractive.
Yeah, for sure. But man, what else do we want to talk about?
Speaking of family, I talked to your cousin the other day.
Oh.
Actually, I've talked to your cousin a couple different times the other day.
Oh.
The past couple of days, Jordan.
Oh, Jordan.
Yeah, I hope Jordan will tune into a podcast.
No, Jordan. Me and Jordan are not on very good terms right now.
Oh, so you're gonna poop out the name?
No, you can leave it in there. I don't care, but I just want to let you know.
Oh, okay. Well, we could talk about that off the record.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good, bro.
Okay.
What were you talking to Jordan about?
Just about life and stuff.
Oh.
Because for those of you who don't have me on Snapchat, it's just been like a really boring last couple of months. That's what it was. Idle hands are the devil's hands.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you were telling me about that. You're talking about me.
That's what the saying was, is idle hands are the devil's hands. The saying means that if you are not up to anything, you could be up to no good. Pretty much. More or less. That's what it's saying. And the reason we brought that up is because I wanted to make music. And I was talking about how I should, but the only problem is nothing to make it on. Because I have a Microsoft laptop and I have to pay for programs if I'm going to use a Microsoft laptop. So I would be bored, which means I have to get a job if I want to make music. But if I want to make music, I have to get a job, and if I have a job, I can't make music. I won't have enough time.
Oh, you know what I want to talk about now?
What do you want to talk about? That's basically the story.
Okay, so speaking about making music.
Oh God. Continue.
Me and my boy Tay and our producer Rash, JJ Rash.
Shout out to Austin.
Yeah, Austin, bro. Austin's f***ing awesome.
I was talking, like, he did one of those things on his Instagram stories about asking a question, and I was like, man, even though me and him aren't close or anything really, some of the times where he was over and Tay was over here and you were...
I always love it when Rash
that was
over.
good.
It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, those were fun nights.
Yeah.
Anyways, shout out to Rash. Anyways, what do you want to talk about?
Us three, we made some songs on SoundCloud. They're pretty good. Look up
Do you really want to do this?
Yeah, look up Drop Gang. It's spelled DROPGNG. And check out some of the stuff on there. A lot of it is just Rash's
Production,
not really any lyrics or anything.
is
So if you look up,
I just thought of a new rapper name for Tay.
what?
So like, you know how like Tay Keith is that new producer that's been popping off
Tay
this last
Keith.
year? Yeah, that one. That one. He for those of you who don't know, he's a producer. He's produced for Drake and 6ix9ine, and just he did a song with Travis Scott this last year. He's been popping off this year, and I just thought of a name for Taylor's rap name. It's Tay Keith.
Tay Keith.
Tay Keith.
Tay Fleet.
Tay Fleet. Besides that, yeah, go ahead and check out Drop Gang. I mean, I'm not affiliated, which I feel left out, by the way. I don't know. We never talked about that, but I definitely
We recorded like 2 songs in one night. You weren't there that night.
One Night by Lil Yachty. Shout out Lil Yachty. If we look at the last year of rap music, it's been a good year for chill rap music, too. Post Malone has been popping off.
Mm-hmm.
Any song with Post Malone, I didn't realize it looking back at the time when Post Malone was getting popular. I only liked a couple of his songs that were on the radio, but other than that, I wasn't really looking into any of his music, his discography.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did, he is like a young legend, let me tell you. And we were talking about, because when we were talking about podcasts and making one ourselves, we were talking about the H3H3 podcast and how he did one with them. He did like 3 with them, actually. And we were like, you know how dope that'd be?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
If we get to the level that's famous enough, we're like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, Post, we're making a new podcast. You want to just come on board?
That'd be so cool.
But yeah, that's the dream. I just realized that the laptop isn't plugged in.
Yeah.
You know how upset I would have been if if we just like let it go. And
it would have told us.
I know, but if it would just went ahead and fucking died on us.
Put it behind the table, back there. Yeah, snug it up right next to Trippy.
It's snagged on something.
It's good. It'll reach from right where you're at. Right here.
Oh, yours on this side. Oopsie daisy. So we're keeping in.
Yeah.
But I
think should only cut the bad words. I'll say these words, but I will bleep them out just to let you know which words we should cut, okay? Sound good?
Sure. This is your laptop, so
Okay,
you're probably going to be cutting some of it.
We'll cut out
that word.
We'll cut out. Also,
we're not going to show that word either.
What else?
When I say show these words, by the way, Devin has been showing me how he edits, and he waits so you can hear just the first part of the words, so you know what word he's saying. So, like, for example, the word F-U-C-K, he'd wait, and he'd hear, and then he'd add the beep, and then it'd be under the beep. So you'd never hear it, you just hear the It's hilarious to me. I think it's so
you'd hear a little bit of the K at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Like, that's the dream scenario.
I don't know. I think it's cool.
It's pretty funny. I'm glad you thought of that.
Yeah.
Like the way you edited it. We already thought about bleeping that because we want the sponsorships.
That's how some people use their censorship and other stuff.
Well, look at like in mainstream movies and stuff. If it's on TV or it's on somewhere that they can't, they like.
I probably like TV. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Like the radio.
I don't have enough money for that.
No, I'm saying if there's something that's like not okay, they usually bleep it out. Like that's like the original censorship for just audio, which is beep.
Oh, yeah.
Insert the beep here. But yeah, I've been thinking about our guests more, like friends. Obviously, so like, I was thinking if we get Alex over here, that'd be pretty cool.
Come over here, man.
Whatever. Anyways, your brother Dill, that'd be a cool one because he's like in on the YouTube, right? So like, that'd be cool. I'd like that.
I guess.
Oh my God, who do you have for ideas that?
I don't know. I think Drayton would be a really good
Drayton
guest.
is a very energetic person, so I bet he'd be pretty good. We just have to give him like
I think Drayton
a monster.
I think Drayton would be the perfect guest, honestly.
Well, I mean, like
out of the people I can think of, I think Drayton's
the people that are like
candidate.
we talk to on a pretty regular basis. I would say that Drayton's probably one of the best.
Yeah, or maybe Mike.
Mike would be pretty good. It's just sometimes he's a little shy for things he's not.
Yeah, I guess so.
And this is a very like.
Tell him to treat it like a Discord call.
We're pretty lucky that we've like adapted. Because let me tell you, podcast. The idea of a podcast sounds appealing. It's like, go ahead, talk, don't edit it very much, and then you're good to go. You put out however long you want it to be, up to 12 hours. Under 15 minutes apparently is what YouTube wants, but under 12 hours is apparently the max that YouTube allows you to.
How long are we gonna make this one?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Can we do 45?
Sure, let's do 45. Yeah,
and we'll see if
it's 12:39 hours.
What if we go until it's 1 o'clock? Then you won't get home super late or anything.
That's pretty much 45 minutes anyway. Okay, so it's like 46 minutes. Anyways. Oh, that was one of the tips I saw on that website. Don't look at the clock. Which is funny because we talked about how Watch Pot never boils earlier this episode.
You gotta know where we're at, man. We don't want to be going on too long.
They mean like... Yeah, I know. But they mean like make it feel natural. Just keep talking. Don't be like, oh, I have to fulfill this amount of time before it goes ahead. And what
do you want my drop?
What flavor you got in this bag?
I got watermelon, but it doesn't really taste like watermelon. Try it.
You have water all over it too.
Yeah, I just took a drink.
We use have you ever been to a vape shop where they have like the sample tip things?
When we were at the flea market, they had
one.
There's a lot of vape stands, and they'll let you sample everything. And they always had different mouth tips.
That's funny.
And they throw them away.
I was gonna say, do you remember seeing in that video like the 10 type of vapors? There's that girl who just wanted a picture on Instagram. She's like, do you have a sample tip for me? So last time we were recording this, hopefully your property manager doesn't watch this. We talked about how there were dogs here, your mother's dogs. Which technically, didn't you say you're not even supposed to have Trippy?
No, not really.
Devy's just out here breaking rules and laws as he pleases.
They're not going to catch me with the fish, but fish aren't allowed. I don't take them outside. It'd be like having a cat in here.
I don't want a cat.
Me too.
You know what? By the end of 2019, the goals are as followed. Like, in this order, by the way. Get a job. Pretty easy goal. Like,
I want to get a cat really bad. I want to get one. I want to make a little bit more money so I can support myself and a cat.
That's the dream. To be able to support yourself and a cat.
Honestly, no.
You could get the mouse.
I want to get one really soon. Yeah, I could get the mouse.
That's a joke, by the way. I didn't want people thinking that.
Okay, look, Connor. I haven't been completely honest with you, Connor. There really is a mouse here.
You kidding?
I'm not around.
Oh no.
No, I'm serious. I've heard squeaking around.
Maybe that's what was tickling my foot.
There's been mouse shit in my cupboards, bro. You not.
You don't have food in your cupboards. There has to be food in your cupboards for there to be mouse shit.
There is some food, very little.
The mouse is like, damn, this boy's starving too. We're kidding, folks. Wink, wink. If we had a camera, you would see me winking to the camera. Man.
Too bad we don't have the webcam on the laptop.
That's so shit, bro. This mic already is questionable sometimes. It's like, when I was listening, we listened to the first episode because we were editing it and planning on uploading it. Didn't work. But when I was listening to it, I was like, yikes. Sometimes there'd be like a peak and the microphone would be like, eh. I'm just like, well, that's what you get when you use the default microphone that comes with the laptop. But other than that, I mean, I can't complain about much lately, honestly. But anyways, hey, going back, my goals in this order: get a job. Hopefully not at beep. Beep.
Are you saying you want me to beep that?
That's what I mean. Like, that's like a note for you to, when you're listening later, to be like, oh, gotta beep this out. Hopefully not there. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. That's a saying. You know what that means?
Everyone knows what that means.
Well, I figured a lot of people knew what a watch pot. A stupid bastard. Oh my god. Anyways, good job. After that, get a car. Well,
You gotta do it for a car.
I gotta get a license.
Yeah. You should
So
also...
1, 2 is get a license. 2A is get a car. 2B is get insurance. Because, it doesn't need to happen. But it should happen. Because if I get wrecked or if I get pulled
you're
over.
supposed to have insurance.
That's what I'm saying. I should do it. But it's probably not.
Otherwise, if you crash into someone, you have to pay that whole thing. You know how much money that is, man?
I'll just get insurance and say it happened afterwards. I'll jip the people who jip everybody else all the time. If you're working for an insurance company, you. Sorry.
They are
not
gyps.
sorry.
They are gyps.
Gyps is a racial slur. I don't think we should put that in there.
I don't think gyps is racial
Just
slur.
because you don't think it's a racial slur doesn't make it a racial slur. I don't think the N-word's a racial slur, but we out here not saying it.
I'll cut it out. Cut it out.
No, keep it in because now people have no clue what we're talking
going
about. You bastard. But, yeah. And then goal number 3 is save money. Because by springtime, I said to somebody that I might be moving in with them. And if you know the area, springtime is coming up pretty fucking soon. We got a couple months. Shout out Caleb. We were talking about it for multiple reasons. He'd like to move in. Reasons that I'll disclose.
Was he legit about it?
Yeah. Reasons that I'll disclose to you later. If Caleb's listening to this right now, he's probably laughing because one of the reasons isn't very great.
Oh, really?
But it's pretty funny. And, depending on what lawyer you're talking to, it could be against the law. That's why I'm not going to disclose that on the podcast. I don't want you to beep out a large portion of it.
Is it like
It's funny. You'll laugh. It's not like drug racketeering.
I thought you were going to say something like a situation.
It's a situation similar to the person that you just named, but will be bleeped out so no one else can guess.
Jesus Christ, man!
The Albanian horse himself. I was gonna say if you aren't from the area, you probably don't know what that means. The Albanian horse, but he's got a ton of people all over the world on his Snapchat.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes he puts pictures of the Snap Map.
Yeah, of the Snap Map. I don't feel jealous because about 0 of those people slide up. Let's be honest. I have 150 something, and I'm like, damn, and only about 7 of them slide up. But move in. So I need to save money. Move in with that person, Caleb Housingate. We already said his name. We're not gonna bleep it out either because he's a homie. Shout out Caleb. 5, start working out. And I'm hoping that you can work out with me because that was the plan originally.
Yeah, that'd be nice, bro. I'd be down.
That was the plan originally, was for us to work out, but that was when I thought I was getting a job back in December, so yikes. Goal number 6, get a cat. And then goal number 7, to wrap out the year.
Man, I want to get a cat.
Goal number...
get one of those cat trees and put it right there, right by that.
Those are cool. And they're nice. Oh my god. I'm going to get caught up talking about cats now. I'm going to be upset because I go home and have no pets.
I put a shit box in the bathroom.
What box?
A shit box.
So not a litter box. You'd have a box full of shit.
That's what my mom and dad used to call it when we had cats.
See, that's the weird thing. Is I never noticed certain things about animals when I lived out in the country. For example, most of my pets were just outside a lot of the time. So I had my dog Dizzy, and she was outside most of the time, but she'd come in for portions. If it was too cold, we'd let her in. She had a little dog house, a pretty nice one actually, not a little one. And we'd put stuff around, hay bales around it, so it would be insulated kinda, and all this stuff. Anyways, yeah. I mean, she was cool. She was really chill. Not once did she ever go to the bathroom. Once she was trained, she never went to the bathroom inside. That's very nice, let me tell you. Because Devy knows some of my other pets.
Oh yeah.
They did go to the bathroom inside, and I was not happy. But then we had my cat Tom. You want to know why he's named Tom?
The tomcat? Is that why?
Well, he was a tomcat, but do you want to know why he's named Tom?
Why?
Another reason he was named Tom?
Tom and Jerry?
Nope, one more. It's because when it was a baby, I don't know if you guys know this, but cats are pretty hard to gender identify when they're young, like kitten, like a couple days old or whatever. So we got this kitten from a farmer or some, I don't know. Anyways, my sister's like, let's name it Princess Daisy because it was orange. It was cute as shit. We're like, sure, that works. We were cool with it because we just have to call it Daisy. We don't have to call it Princess Daisy. It was a cute name, right? All of a sudden, fast forward however long it took, we started realizing Princess Daisy was going to hit puberty and would have a nutsack. Princess Daisy was looking like Prince Daisy.
Dude, that same thing happened. Do you want to know what happened with mine?
Well, so we named it Tom because it's like a tomboy or a tom girl. We thought it was a girl, but it really was a guy, so it was just looking like a girl, so it was Tom. And Tom ended up, let me tell you, I've seen our friend Mike, shout out Mike, he has Maine Coons, which are big cats. I've never seen a cat that's bigger than Tom. He was an orange tabby tomcat. That fucker would fuck you up, bro. He never hurt any humans that I saw. He never hurt our dog Dizzy, which is really cool because if you have a dog and a cat and they get into fights and stuff, it's loud. You get scratches, all this stuff. Never gotten in any fight. What would happen is he'd be gone for about 3 days, and we're like, oh man, Tom's dead. All of a sudden, Tom be walking back like the big badass he was, and he'd have a new scratch on his neck or something. He was out there up. The only animals in the area that would bother him, and he would have to fight back, and he would be able to get away from, raccoons, coyotes, or other cats and dogs. This he lived to be 14 years old. 15 years old. When my parents got divorced, we lived in town. My dad wasn't able to take care of the animals all the time anymore because he was working. He was still truck driving through Minnesota, so he'd be gone for 5 days of the week at a time, and then he'd be back for the weekends, usually, around that type of schedule. And if it got too long, he'd ask our mom to go back out and feed the pets and stuff. But anyways, for a while there, we had no clue where Tom was. And we're just like, man, he probably, for real is dead now. Nope, turns out the fat bastard went to another little community in the area of about 10 houses, a couple trailers. Because I lived out in, when we say country, we mean, BFE, you know what I mean? Anyways, he went over to that community because the neighborhood would take turns leaving a little food for him every night. So instead of having to provide for himself, or if raccoons or something stole the food from my dad's place, he would go to the neighborhood next door, and he'd have them feed him and stuff. And one day, my neighbor, his grandma lives over there, so we went over to his grandma's place, and we're like, is that Tom? And then there's the big bastard himself walking down the road. I'm like, oh my god. And he didn't look any better. He still had battle scars and stuff. His ear was all fat. He got, what is it called? He had cauliflower ears, probably mites. But we were like, he got cauliflower ear from fighting somebody. He is a cool cat, though. So if you're seeing the thumbnail for the first episode, which we are going to upload these in order because we talk about the order too much to just f around and upload these in whatever order. So if you see the first thumbnail, you'll see my big ass head. You'll notice that I do have a pretty, it might be harder to tell without my body being there, but I have a pretty big head. Right? Would you agree? I
don't know.
I got a pretty large.
You're a taller guy.
Yeah, I grew into it. Let me tell you, because it was probably always this size, but I was a smaller man when I was younger, so I look like a bobblehead. I look like a caricature of who I am now. Anyways, that cat Tom, he had a big head too. We were just two big-headed buddies.
Big-headed buddy.
Oh my god, I feel like I've been talking a lot this episode.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, obviously.
Yeah, it's not really a bad
But
thing.
I want to know if you have anything on your mind you want to talk about.
Not really, man. I just been listening to you pretty much.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be episodes where I'm listening to you. Like, if you have something that you want to talk about. For example, if we ever did an episode, like, pretty much continuously on vaping, like, where we got you on a content abundance of vaping. So, like, you bought, like, a couple new vapes, a couple new juices, anything like that. And you just keep talking about it. I mean, I'm not going to be like, yo, Devy, shut the f*** up. We've heard enough about your vapes. No, I'm going to be like, hey, let's see how close we get this to an hour so then we can have the YouTube algorithm be like, man, all these guys' episodes are on the same length. Let's give them money. Because as you all know,
we're all about the money.
We're doing this strictly for money.
That's right. We cannot stress that enough. We're all about the money here.
What's that song? It's not about the money. Let me tell you.
Take a ride with me. That's that one. Take a ride with me.
We're thinking of two different songs.
Must be the money.
No, you're thinking different.
That's what it is. It's like, hey,
no,
must be the money.
I'm thinking it's not about the money, money, money. The Jesse song.
Oh shit!
Or whoever sings that song. You're
right.
thinking of the one that the Cheerios ad is making fun of, where it says, "Hey, must be the honey."
I don't know if I've seen that one.
You don't watch. Debbie doesn't watch TV, so there's gonna be a couple. There's gonna be a couple times that I'll make a reference and it'll just go. And for those of you who can't see what I just did, it went right over his head.
Yeah.
We really need camera, bro.
I know. All these gestures, man.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I really, especially me, I talk with my hands a lot. I'll make
it's like he's an Italian.
I want to. That's what we could talk about for the next 5 minutes. I really want to move to Italy, guys. I can't stress that enough. I mean, Debbie, where would you want to live if you could live anywhere in the world?
Anywhere?
Yeah, anywhere.
I think Greece is pretty cool.
Guess what? Greece is right fucking next to Italy, bro.
Is it really?
They're right next to
Or
each
what
other.
was another one?
Another what?
Another one of those places that I would like to live in.
Hopefully Italy, 'cause that's where I want.
I don't know if it was Italy. Probably not beautiful. Italy.
So I'm going to talk about Italy for a little bit. We only have a couple minutes left. You know, I figured I'd talk a lot of this podcast. I'll wrap it up. I was learning about Italy on one of my food shows. We've talked about how I possibly would want to get into the food industry. Italy is like a mecca of the food world. Like, oh my god. Pizza, spaghetti pasta, tortellini, ravioli, gelato, which is like the shaved ice, you know. It's so good. Then you bring into factor the landscapes. You got that Mediterranean Ocean in view. You got those cliff sides, the beautiful locations.
It's like Greece, man.
It is. They're right. I'm telling you, dude. They're right next to each other. Anyways, then you have because I like fishing too. I go fishing in Italy off on the. You know, I could be in my villa and I just launch the fishing pole off the cliff.
What if you lived in Venice?
Venice, Italy. Oh yeah, I can go canoeing down the canals.
Get a kayak.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. You know that song?
No.
That was giving
Is that from a movie?
It's been in a couple.
Is that a Disney movie?
It was in.
That sounds like a Disney song.
It was in the movie Sing.
Sing.
Oh my god, you gotta watch that.
Is that
good.
Disney?
I think so. It's either Disney or Pixar. I think.
Oh.
I could be completely wrong for both.
That movie looks like shit to me.
I mean, it's got
Was it pretty good?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's got a bunch of famous songs like the Beatles and Beatles. I can't think of anybody else. When the moon hits your eye, that song that I was just singing, that's in it. But also, there's an inside joke that if you were in my history class with Mr. Beep, if you were that during my senior year,
fucking asshole.
He wasn't my favorite. He wasn't a lot of people's favorites. But anyways, there was an inside joke whenever we were talking about Italy, because we were talking about World War II. Not a great time to talk about Italy. But anyways. Mussolini. He made the trains on time. That's, for those of you who don't know, Italy is known for having late trains. So, like, if you have a man who can make the trains on time, you got something. But anyways, there was an inside joke that I was going to move to Italy and have my family in Italy and all this stuff. And so my joke was going to be that I was going to have some beautiful half Italian children. And I hope the person that this joke was about is listening to the podcast right now. There is a certain someone in the class who is very pretty, and she happens to be part Italian. And so I said one time to somebody who doesn't know the joke, and I said, I'm going to have beautiful half Italian children. And they overheard, and they looked at me, and they said, Connor. I was like,
who was it that said that?
A pansexual. If you know, you know, you know. You can't say that. Now we're down a viewer, and that makes it seem like we hate pansexuals.
Okay, we'll bleep out what I said.
We don't hate pansexuals. We just don't necessarily understand the appeal. Which I feel like
dogs.
it's okay, you need to stop. I feel like that's a lot of the problem with today's world, if I'm gonna be honest. People don't understand why other people do things, and so they just like that.
I guess.
So like, think about older people. Why do you think they don't like gay people?
Because
that's the generalization. Hang on.
People weren't usually gay when they were.
Let me bring that back a bit. I'm not saying all old people hate gay people. I'm saying there are quite a few older people who are less. They're more extreme about their views. So, but yeah, you're right. I think it's just like they didn't grow up with it, so they don't understand it.
They don't understand it.
Maybe we can talk about that later. But for now, it's 1 a.m.
Once they all die off, it'll be.
Then we'll be the ones that are extreme, bro.
Extreme about what?
Like, no, I'm saying people are getting so accepting of everybody, which is funny to say because at the time of this being recorded, if you're listening to this in the distant future, it's funny to say this because it seems like things are getting sometimes. But people are getting so accepting, and generally speaking, that like it's only natural to say that our children are probably going to be more accepting than us, and their children more accepting than them, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? So our grandchildren would be like, man, our grandpa's pretty racist. When really all we're saying is jip. Bringing it back, baby. Okay. Anyways, you got anything else you want to close up this podcast with?
No, I think we should wrap her up, though.
It is getting late. You have to bring me home.
Yeah.
Shout out Devin for bringing me home. Speaking of that, you got anything or anyone you want to shout out?
Shout out Soren Drop. It's really good. It's a really good vape.
This flavor
all I really gotta say.
Also, shout out the Twist Salt Watermelon Madness. That was a pretty smooth flavor. I liked it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Shout out Tap Water, man, for keeping me hydrated. Right. Okay. With that being said, after shout outing Tap Water, which I hope they'll sponsor us, because I could really use some free water right now.
As long as I'm coming from Michigan.
Flint, Michigan, Tap Water. Shout out them. Anyways, we would like to say thank you for listening. This has been the Konner And Devy podcast. I'm Connor Stoker.
I'm Debbie.
And good night.